Hi, my name's Greg. I was on vacation last week driving out west. My passenger, front seat passenger side, feels a little heat down by his feet. He reaches down, touches the floorboard, and it is hot underneath the floor mat. Matter of fact, so hot it was warm in his water bottle. We were afraid it was the catalytic converter, but when I got home, we checked, and catalytic converter seemed to be fine because actually the Envoy was performing fine going up and down the mountains, but it was the heat shields. They were completely separated, and matter of fact, there was a gap between the front heat shield and the rear heat shield, and I think that is right actually where the passenger side floorboard is, and that's why it was really, really hot. Anyway, I'd like to show you how I repaired or how I reinstalled those heat shields. I'm underneath my Envoy, and you're looking at the muffler, and above it is the heat shield that runs all the way to the front and over the catalytic converter up here. Okay. Anyway, all this was loose. It was laying on top, and see, there's the front bolt that had rusted out, and back here there was two of them that had rusted out, and this section here was totally separate, and I think right above that is where the passenger's feet are. So that's where it was especially hot in the cabin. So you can see I've made some adapted washers, and I'll tell you more about that here in just a second. I've left this back one done. I'll show you how I've done it in the back here. You can see, okay, there's a big hole, and right here is the bolt, all right, and the bolt is metal, okay, the guard, the heat guard, is aluminum, and there's a special name for that. There's a chemical reaction between aluminum and steel or metal, apparently, and that's why that hole is much larger. It essentially eroded the aluminum, and of course then when that happened, why the heat shield just fell down. So anyway, what I did was I sprayed, these rusty old bolts, with a lubricator, that Seacoast stuff, whatever it's called, I'll tell you here in just a second, and let it sit for quite a while, and then I'm going to take that off and I'm going to replace it with a homemade washer, and I'll show you that here in just a second. So you saw how the washer that was on the guard is gone, all right, and the hole is much bigger, so you're going to have to put a new larger washer on it, and you really don't want it to be steel or metal because that'll erode with the have that chemical reaction, electrolysis, something like that. Look it up. Anyway, so you want something aluminum to go on that aluminum heat shield. Well, there's a video I saw that said, hey, use beer bottle caps, and it's like, that's a great idea. You can smash those, put a hole in the middle. You know what? I didn't have any on hand. Called my neighbor, he didn't either. I thought, what do I got to use in its place? And lo and behold, here's what I got. I got Coke cans. Particularly Coca-Cola Zero Sugar Vanilla, Orange Vanilla. Great stuff. Anyway, I used the bottom. I cut the bottom out of the can. Here's what's left. And I poked a hole in it. I took a screw and I took a hammer and I popped a hole in the middle of that, and that I'm using as my washer or spacer. Show you in a second. I've got the nut off, and now I'm going to put my homemade washer on there. Watch this. Pop my hole there. I'm going to stick this thing. Whoops. And I can push that right up there. Look at that. Holding it right in place. Now I can put my nut back on. And there's my finished product. Now, I don't know how long these things are going to last. This Envoy's got 253, now make that 256,000 miles on it. So, you know what? If I get 25,000, 50,000 miles out of that, that'll be pretty darn good. Anyway, pretty cheap. Didn't cost me anything except the cost of the cans of pop. Hope this helps.